Full speed ahead or proceed with caution. Introduction. Social media is taking over the business industry, with some businesses being run over these platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. These platforms are better for consumers as it is easier to purchase goods from their devices such as telephones. These platforms can save companies money by not having to run their own website and utilizing these platforms instead. For example, I know many businesses that are ran just over Instagram and Facebook, and this is very beneficial because you don't have to set up your own website and don't have to pay for all the fees. By using these platforms, businesses can also be more efficient because all the information needed is in one location. Case study questions. Number one, identify the management, organization, and technology factors responsible for impeding adoption of internal corporate social networks. To begin, I believe you have to look at Carlo's Bake Shop and how they went from being mostly paper based and prone to error. Like stated in the article, they were susceptible to miscommunication when completing orders and basic paperwork. Carlo then decided to implement Chatter, which is a social network, and at first, many employees were resistant about it, but then realized the improvements this platform can make for their business. After the switch, the article states that the bake shop lowered their error rate by more than 30% and became more efficient, which in return made the business more successful. Case study question number two. Compare the experiences implemented internal social network of the two organizations described in this case. Why were they successful? What role did management play in this process? Bayer Material Science and Carlo's Bake Shop decided to implement these social networks to better their business. Both businesses benefited from the networks mostly in organization by having everything easily accessible and stored in one place. And of course, the management played a really big role in this by choosing to adopt this technology to store data and making it more customer friendly in this technology driven world. Case study question number three. Should all companies implement internal enterprise social networks? Why or why not? Personally, I believe all companies should implement these networks because you must in order to stay modern in today's world. Also, with the benefits and possibility of becoming more successful, how can you not try it? I mean, for example, if you have an opportunity and enough money to try it as a business, I think you should, just to see how you benefit from it. Even if it doesn't work out, you at least tried. And using these networks is shown in the case study to lower employee error and making your business more efficient by having everything stored in one place. This is huge, not having to dig through paperwork and look for certain information or customer files and stuff like that. When searching the internet, I looked for examples of some current social networks, and there's Tibber, Jive, Yammer, Socialcast, and Convo. Um, in addition to the ones mentioned in the article, such as Chatter and some other ones, they were all pretty much the same, which can, I don't know if they are like interchangeable for certain businesses to exchange data, but that would be important. Some important takeaways from this study that I got was when looking at the article, you got to talk about the CRM, which is the customer relationship management systems. And many businesses are using these systems to gather data with other companies in order to work together. However, this would be important, like I just mentioned, to be able to share across different platforms. And this is a more modern relationship with employees and customers, and it can benefit your business. Like, for example, if you have an employee out, they can still get the information they need and everything from these systems. some discussion questions I came up with. What are some disadvantages of using this technology, and could technology eventually eliminate the need of having an actual in-person store or storefront? The answer to these questions is yes. One major disadvantage of this technology is if it fails and you do not have paper copies, how will you recover your data? You see this all the time. Technology is great, but it is going to fail, and if you have all your data stored on there, how can you recover it? And you see this with breaches and stuff as well. And yes, I believe that we will soon be internet based. I believe this because when you look at Amazon, they're one of the biggest companies right now, and how successful they are while not having an actual storefront. It's actually kind of scary for people, and that's why many people are worried about technology. In conclusion, I believe that businesses will continue to adopt these networks in order to become more organized and efficient. And in the near future, enterprise social networks will be the main communication between employees and employers, which will eliminate the job for people in like human resources and stuff like that that communicate between employers and employees.